to Good Day State Line. We are at the 2022 Women Build with the Rockford Area Habitat for Humanity. Such an amazing experience to be a part of, and so many amazing individuals who are here today too. You're going to hear some stories, probably going to make you cry, totally fine. It's also probably going to make you want to be a part of this next year. All right, Sue, so what have you been doing today?
Building walls, drilling holes, hammering nails.
Have you done this before?
Yes.
Okay, you kind of looked like a pro. I was like, well, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it.
What made you want to be part of this today?
Beautiful day, and with friends, and lots of good women, good strong women. So, Habitat is a fabulous venture. So great thing for families and the community.
My name is Lisa Nielsen, and I am Daniel Nielsen's mother. And I'm here today for the Women's Build Day in honor of my son, Daniel. Daniel is a Rockford native, and he grew up here in Rockford, and he went to Auburn High School. And he, after he graduated from high school, he attended the University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide. And he graduated from there, and while he was in Tuscaloosa, he became very involved with the Habitat for Humanity in Tuscaloosa and raised over $200,000 for some builds there, and was their president and treasurer, and was very involved and was very passionate about the build, and really enjoyed getting to know the families whose homes he built. And he passed away in a sudden tragic accident this past November. He fell from a tall height and died, and his memorial fund was established. We wanted to carry on Daniel's legacy through having a memorial fund to have donations towards Habitat for Humanity, because that's what he would have wanted. And so this is his house, and it's the Daniel Nielsen Memorial Build. And Daniel was just like a super awesome dude, and he was very kind and warm and generous and loving with his time, and made you feel like you were the most special person in the world. And he is a beautiful soul, and I know he's here with us today, and I am so proud of him, and I will miss him and love him forever.
So when I was a student at Western Illinois University back in the late 90s, I was a resident assistant. And one of the requirements of being an RA on our college campus was community service hours and community learning hours. And so I signed up to participate in a Habitat for Humanity build in McDonough County, Illinois, through Western Illinois University. I put a sign-up sheet outside of the elevator, and I expected a handful of people to sign up. And much to my surprise, 18 of my residents chose to sign up to volunteer with Habitat. So that morning, that Saturday morning, at 7:30 in the morning, 12 of the 18 college students showed up, and we loaded up in our cars, and we drove to this construction site that looks much like the site you're looking at today. When we got there, we were met by Habitat for Humanity staff and volunteers, and we were greeted and told all about the program and what we were going to be doing that day. And I could see off to the side there was this stack of shovels. And so once the introduction was over, the group leaders or the house leaders pointed us to the shovels and asked us to each grab a shovel and head to the backyard. I was 19. I had literally absolutely no idea what I was supposed to be doing and why I needed a shovel. We get to the back of the yard, and he says we're going to need to dig a utility trench. It's 30 feet long and 3 feet deep. And we thought, okay, that doesn't seem so bad, until we started doing the work and recognized that that was a lot of manual labor for a bunch of 18 and 19-year-old college students. But we had such a great time. We were, just laughing and having so much fun. About 45 minutes into digging the trench, one of the house leaders from the Habitat affiliate came and said, "Which one of you is Carrie?" And so I raised my hand, and as I was the group leader, so I thought maybe there was, some paperwork I needed to fill out, or there was some important work I needed to do. He walked me into the house and he said, Carrie, I want you to meet Kathy. Kathy, I want you to meet Carrie. And so I shook her hand and I said, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And he said, okay, you're gonna hang her front door. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. I have no idea how to do this. And so a couple of their volunteers helped us. They walked us through it. They kind of showed us what we needed to do and kind of explained the whole process to us. And so we did. We started working on it. It took us a few hours to kind of get it right. We had to ask for their help several times, and they were so kind and just so thoughtful and so helpful. And after a few hours, we got it. And we were so proud of ourselves. We were high-fiving and jumping around. We were like showing everybody in the backyard that we had hung this front door, and it just was this like super empowering, really emotional feeling that I had being a part of that. And after the celebration, Kathy says to me, Carrie, will you do me a favor? And I said, sure, whatever you need. She said, will you go outside? And when I say, okay, will you knock on the door? And I said, yeah. I'm kind of loud and a little obnoxious. And I was like, came to the other side and I was waiting and waiting. And I was like waving to my friends in the backyard, and all of a sudden I heard her say in this kind of quiet voice, okay. And so I knocked as loud as I possibly could. I knocked on that front door and she said, come in. And as I opened the door, tears running down Kathy's face, she said, welcome to my home. And my life changed. I had spent hours working with Kathy and I didn't know she was the homeowner. I didn't know she was the person that was gonna buy that home from Habitat for Humanity. I didn't know that was the place that she was gonna get to say, welcome to my home for the rest of her life. And I got to be the first visitor. I was blown away. I was forever changed in that moment. And I just kept going back. On Saturday nights, we would go out to the bar after I'd turned 21. And all of my friends would be like, oh, I slept till 3 today. I was like, I shingled a roof today. I sided a house today. I hung drywall today. I felt so powerful. Like this was my calling. And so after years of volunteering with the Habitat for Humanity affiliate in Macomb, I graduated from college and I moved to DeKalb. And I found the Habitat affiliate in DeKalb. And on my first volunteer day, I was hanging siding with Trisha DeBoo, who I will never be able to say thank you enough to. I was hanging siding with her, and by the end of the day, she had asked me to serve on their board of directors. I was 23 years old, and I said yes, and that changed my life. I dedicated my life to nonprofit in that moment. I worked with the Habitat for Humanity board in DeKalb County for 9 years as a board member and as a volunteer, both on the construction site and through their family selection committee. I went on to join nonprofit as a professional career. And then in 2014, my sister, who graduated from Rockford University, Rockford College back then, sent me a job listing for the Rockford Area Habitat for Humanity Executive Director position. I'd worked for years in nonprofit, and she sent me a message and said, maybe instead of using all your vacation time to build Habitat houses, you could go on a real vacation if you worked for Habitat. And so I did. I took a chance. I redid my resume, so all my Habitat experience was on the first page. And you know what? That board of directors took a chance on me, and I am forever grateful for that. It'll be 8 years in July that I've worked for this organization, and boy, am I just so grateful for the path that led me here.